Airlines are more than just flying machines, they're these huge complex systems. The goal is simple really, they want to move people from one place to another. They have to do this safely, and well, they have to do it on time too. At the center of this whole system are the airplanes themselves. These are the real tools of the trade. Having the right airplane for the right flight is super important. It's kind of like a carpenter picking the right hammer for a specific job. You know, a small plane isn't good for a long international flight, and a giant jumbo jet is just too big for a short hop between small cities. The airline's fleet, its collection of airplanes, is its most important asset. Managing this fleet, let me tell you, is a big job. Airlines think about it every single day. They need to make sure each plane is working perfectly, and they also have to plan for the future. An airplane is a very expensive machine. It can fly for many years, sometimes for decades, but eventually every plane gets old. Airlines must decide when to buy new ones, and this choice affects everything. It affects how much fuel they use, how comfortable passengers are, and even where the airline can fly. A modern fleet can open up new routes and new possibilities for travelers all over the world. The work of an airline is really a careful balance. It's a balance between today and tomorrow. Today they've got to operate thousands of flights. Each one needs a plane, a crew, and a flight plan. Tomorrow they've got to think about the planes they'll need in 5, 10, or even 20 years. This long-term planning is what keeps an airline strong. It ensures they can continue to serve their customers well, and it also helps them compete with other airlines. Having a modern, efficient fleet is a key to success. It shows that the airline is thinking ahead and investing in its future. So, when you see an airplane at the gate, remember what it represents. It's not just a metal tube with wings, it's part of a massive moving puzzle. Each piece has to fit perfectly. The plane you're about to board is the result of years of planning. It's a symbol of the airline's strategy. It's chosen, maintained, and scheduled with incredible care. This careful management is what makes air travel possible. It's the unseen work that gets you safely to your destination day after day all around the globe. Every day is a new challenge for an airline. The airline's operations center is like the brain of the whole company. Here, people work around the clock. They plan every single flight, deciding which airplane will fly which route. They've got to think about so many things. They consider the number of passengers booked for the flight, look at how much cargo needs to be transported, and they also check the weather conditions along the entire flight path. It's a very complicated dance where every step has to be perfect. One small delay can cause problems for many other flights across the country. A successful operation means everything runs smoothly. The airplanes have to be ready to go, which means they've been cleaned, fueled, and checked by mechanics. The pilots and flight attendants must be in the right place at the right time, and they need to be well rested and ready for their duty. The ground crew needs to load baggage and guide the plane away from the gate. All these teams have to communicate and work together. Airlines like United have huge operations centers in places like Chicago. These centers watch every single one of their planes in the air and on the ground, making sure the daily dance goes on without a hitch. But sometimes, things go wrong. A sudden thunderstorm can close an airport, or a mechanical issue might need to be fixed before a plane can take off. When this happens, the operations team has to act fast. They need to make new plans, maybe switch to a different airplane or find a new crew. Sometimes they may even have to cancel the flight if there are no other options. Their main goal is always safety first. They work hard to solve the problem while causing the least amount of disruption for the passengers waiting to travel. This daily management is what makes modern air travel so reliable. Most of the time, passengers never see the incredible effort behind the scenes. They just see their plane arrive at the gate and depart on time. But behind that simple event is a team of hundreds of people. They're constantly planning, checking, and communicating. They're solving problems before they even happen. This dedication is what ensures that millions of people can travel smoothly and safely every single day, making the world feel just a little bit smaller. Airplanes have a long and useful life. They can fly safely for 20 or 30 years, or even longer. However, there comes a time when an airline decides to retire an older plane. This decision is not usually about safety. An old plane that's well maintained is just as safe as a new one. The main reason for retiring an aircraft is usually money. Older planes were designed when fuel was much cheaper, and they often burn a lot more fuel than newer models. As fuel costs rise, these older jets become very expensive to operate on a daily basis. Airlines are always looking for ways to be more efficient. A new airplane is a huge investment, but it can save the airline millions of dollars in the long run. For example, Delta Airlines has been replacing its older MD-88 and MD-90 aircraft. They're bringing in new Airbus A220 planes. These new planes are much quieter, and they also use significantly less fuel for each passenger they carry. This makes them better for the environment and better for the airline's budget. Updating the fleet is a critical business decision that helps an airline stay competitive in a very tough industry. So, what happens to the planes that are taken out of service? They don't just disappear. Many of these retired airplanes are flown to special storage facilities, often located in dry desert climates like in Arizona or California. The dry air helps prevent the metal from rusting. Some of these planes will be sold to other, smaller airlines around the world. Others will be carefully taken apart. Their valuable parts like engines, landing gear, and electronics can be reused as spare parts for other planes of the same type that are still flying. The final step for some of these old warriors of the sky is recycling. The metal from the airplane's body, mostly aluminum, is valuable. It can be melted down and used to make new things. It's kind of a strange end for a machine that has spent decades soaring above the clouds. But this process of renewal is essential. It allows airlines to keep their fleets modern and efficient. It ensures that the industry continues to evolve, bringing in newer, better technology. Retiring old planes is just as important as buying new ones for the health of an airline. Deciding to buy new airplanes is one of a kind. It's one of the biggest decisions an airline's leaders can make. These choices are worth billions of dollars, and they'll shape the airline's future for the next 20 years or more. The process is very detailed and takes a long time. Airlines don't just pick a plane from a catalog, they have very specific needs. They have to find the aircraft that best fits their routes and their business plan. It's a high-stakes decision that involves a lot of careful study and negotiation with aircraft manufacturers like Boeing and Airbus. So, what do airlines look for in a new plane? Fuel efficiency is almost always at the top of the list. A plane that burns less fuel costs less to fly. This is a huge factor in an airline's profitability. They also look at the plane's size. They need to know how many passengers it can carry. A plane that's too big for a route will fly with empty seats, and a plane that's too small will leave potential customers behind. For example, Southwest Airlines famously flies only Boeing 737 airplanes. This simplifies maintenance, training, and scheduling for their specific type of operation. Passenger comfort is also becoming more important. New planes often have features that make flying more pleasant. They might have larger windows, bigger overhead bins for carry-on bags, or better cabin air pressure. The cabin air pressure in newer jets like the Boeing 787 Dreamliner is set to a lower altitude. This can help reduce the feeling of jet lag for passengers on long flights. These small details can make a big difference. They can convince a traveler to choose one airline over another for their next trip, which is exactly what the airline wants. Ultimately, fleet updates and smooth operations are two sides of the same coin. They're both essential for a successful airline. By carefully choosing new aircraft, airlines can save money, reduce their impact on the environment, and provide a better experience for their customers. This, combined with the incredible daily effort of their operations teams, is what keeps us all flying safely. It ensures that the global network of air travel remains strong, reliable, and ready to connect us to the people and places we want to see. The next time you fly, you'll know it's all part of a very big plan.